and it's a rumbling, bumbling, stumbling play recovered by Christian Roseboom. Panthers forced the fumble. They end up kicking a field goal.
Outstanding pass rush by the Panthers made life for Sam Darnold miserable all day long.
Well, that fella, he was just kind of like Santa, I guess. 10th of the 12s. Early 3-3 at the half. And Darnold picked off by former Seahawk Mike Jackson.
Outstanding pick, boom. He gets the left knee down, left knee. That's like 2 feet he's in.
So 3-3 at the half. Then the Chuba missile crisis. It's a crisis because DeMarcus Lawrence punches it out, falls on it.
And they've been doing this all year long. DeMarcus Lawrence, what a prize pickup in the offseason.
Him, Big Leo in the middle, out front is rough. Darnold says, you're going to give me a short field, less than 30 yards. A.J. Barner, the barn burner, inside the 5. It's a 16-yard play. And then Zach Charbonnet. He hit over 100 yards, popped the cork. Seattle leads 10-3. Good vintage.
Yeah, nice little calf for me. I like it.
Now midway third. Bryce looking for McMillan, and all you need is love. The Beatles. Julian Love makes the play.
Outstanding play. Cover 2, leaning. He baited Bryce Young all day long.
So again, short field. Seattle says, way to go. Thank you, Julian. They're as healthy as they've been in a while. And then Darnold says, you know, the barn burner, I got a blocker, I see the end zone. And just like that, 17-3 Seahawks. Early fourth, same score. At the 17, Young says, you know what? I got a young man named Horn that plays really good corner, and I got a receiver named Jimmy Horn Jr. puts me in good position out at the 10. Then Bryce. He's been big at comebacks, especially at home. The Panthers touchdown for Bryce Young, and the Panthers are down 17-10. But under pressure, there's DeMarcus Lawrence again. Swats him, sacks him, forced to a 4th down. Next Panthers play with 4th and 17. It's going to be McMillan, but how about that tackle by Love?
Outstanding tackle. McMillan quiet today. His only catch on the day, boom.
And so the Seahawks add another score, 3-3 at the half, and they win it 27-10. One win on the road next week against San Francisco. They will be the number 1 seed. It's a way to go. But Mike McDonald's record on the road as a 2-year head coach, 14-2.
I know it wasn't Sam's best game of all time, and the stats reflect that. But there's some big time 3rd down throws with pressure in his face. You know, we threw the one to Jax. You know, that route to Cooper. I mean, those are some big time throws that you know, in the face of pressure that we need to be able to make, and they're not easy to make. So, but great, that was a big time catch by Coop. That was awesome.
Be about today, but you know, in this league, you got to flip the page. You know, we got to be able to turn it. So again, we get to start the playoffs a week early. We want an opportunity. We have that opportunity. Now we have to make sure we embrace it.
Well, Bryce Young, Panthers can still win the division. Tampa Bay, well, could they even up and get even in the standings? Baker Mayfield, Bucs taking on the Dolphins in Miami. Mayfield to Chris Godwin. Happy days are here again, 7-0 Tampa Bay.
Yeah, off to a hot start early.
Yeah, the names are back. Quinn Ewers, the rookie from Texas, to Theo Weiss Jr. Just like you thought Miami would look this year. Ewers to Weiss for a touchdown, 63 yards. Tua says, hey, we're scoring. We're tied at 7. Miami came to play. Did Tampa. Baker looking for Jalen McMillan. Pretty good pocket, scrambling. But Jason Marshall, I know this is Marshall Falk, but I'm doing it anyway. Marshall steps in front of it, and Dolphins in business.
Yeah, the receivers got to help Baker, got to go up and play defensive back and help his quarterback out. He should have went up in McMillan, and he got to do a better job of protecting his quarterback.
Well, and so the Dolphins have the ball in their own zone off the turnover. Under 2 to go in the half. Ewers. Again, you knew this would be Miami all year. Ewers to Greg Dulcich. 17-7. Dolphins? Really? Now under 8 to go in the 4th. It's 20-10. The Bucs. Can you win it? You don't know that Carolina has lost yet. Looking for Pika-Puka, but Ashton Davis with the pick. And so Miami's defense making life tough. Baker has struggled here down the stretch. Now, next Bucs offensive possession. Same score, still down 10. Bradley Chubb Good insurance causes a fumble. Quentin Bell recovers it.
Outstanding job. When you go for the sack, boom, don't just get the man down, get the ball out. Sack calls fumble by Chubb.
Dolphins have the ball, 31. Now, under 2 to go in the game. Still 20-10. Mayfield, Godwin Jr. Look at the Jets here, 59 yards. Bucs down 10. Can they spring an unbelievable comeback? They were doing all this the first 2 months of the year. Now Bucs first and goal. A couple plays later, Mike Evans for his 8,000th touchdown. The Bucs are down 3, 20-17. Onside kick, Chase McLaughlin. Ooh, the leap up, and the Dolphins. Hey, look, we saw the Bears do it, but it's really hard to do. And Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have lost 4 in a row, all by 4 points or fewer. They're 1-7 their last 8. They can still win the division. It doesn't feel or look like it, but Baker Mayfield knows. You mean the Panthers lost too? We're still alive, although we got work to do.
It's about executing, and the fact that we're still in it, that should give us the positivity we need to rebound from this, hit the reset button. Like Todd said, erase it. It's about us executing. Listen, to have a chance at home to get into the playoffs and win the division, wouldn't have it any other way. And obviously the things leading up to it, yeah, we'd love to change them, but still have a chance. Playing for the division at home, and I'll get this group ready.
There can't be more urgency, right? You're literally out of bullets now, right?
Out of bullets, out of lives, and that's all right with me.
Well, the good news, a lot of these Bucs have won 4 straight divisions.
Yeah.
All right? The Panthers have not. The bad news, you heard me say the stat. The Bucs had a wonderful first couple of months.
Yeah.
1-7 last 8. What do you see?
Well, boom, here's the thing about it. Defensively, they're a shell of themselves. When you talk about that stretch, the last 8 games, the defense dead last in a lot of categories. Young secondary, no pass rush. That's a recipe for disaster. Offensively, they've tried to carry the weight a little bit. Too many blown coverages, too many missed tackles, not enough pass rush. And I think if you're Todd Bowles, you're the head coach and you're calling the defense, there's an old saying, you're either coaching it or you're allowing it to happen. And so what's happened to this Bucs defense, the coaches have got to get it fixed, because time after time after time, you see guys wide open. 60, 70-yard touchdowns and there's nobody around. It's become a recent theme. I don't know how they get it corrected. I wouldn't be concerned about Carolina if I were Tampa. I'd be concerned about Tampa. Worry about your own self. They're losing too many games because of self-inflicted wounds. I don't know if 7 days can take away the stink of 7 weeks. That'll be a tall task for Todd Bowles to figure out.
Unbelievable Christmas gift that came late, that you are still in it, going 1-7. Or you can do. We've said this on the show before. I'll be quick. It's as if by the time they got most of their injured players back, it's as if it took too much effort, and they lost oars. Now that they got them back, even that boat in the corner of the end zone is starting to sink a little bit. But they will be at home, even though they lost to this team a couple of weeks ago. To your eyeball test, Panthers, look, it doesn't ensure a win next week. Panthers look better than the Bucs.
Panthers are a better team. The Panthers have more ways they can beat you. Defensively, they can cover. They got a defensive line that can rush the passer. They can run the football with the missile crisis and Rico Dowdle. Bryce Young, if he doesn't turn the football over, boom, they're a better team than the Buccaneers. Now, with that being said, you got to go into Tampa in a winner-take-all situation, and you got to try to win the game. That's going to be a tough task. But they're the better football team right now. The key is, in a big moment, can they perform better? That'll be the key for that young team.
Well, Tampa, 3 turnovers. They didn't force any Miami. Seattle Seahawks, all right? What don't you see? Their 5th 10 a.m. start. They've won all 5 of them, by the way. And like the Atlanta game, which was, I think, 6-6 at the half.
Yeah, it was.
3-3 at the half. Not an excuse. Carolina played very good defense. Yeah. But the Seattle Seahawks, this is what they do. Sam makes a couple more mistakes. I'm not saying that that's what he does, but the defense, you heard Ernest Jones say it a few weeks ago. We don't care. It's our quarterback. We have his back. You played for a team like this, where sometimes the quarterback is turning it over. It's on us. And, boy, they stood up, holding them pretty much, just the one touchdown. Here's a field goal. The defense understands what they have to do. And if they ever get a game when they don't turn it over,
look out.
They're going to win 50-0.
It's amazing what confidence will do. Sam Darnold's defense gives him confidence because of what Ernest Jones says. That's our quarterback. We got his back. We understand who he is and what he does. This is a defensive football team, boom. They got 2 corners that can cover in Witherspoon and Woolen. Jones at the linebacker spot. The defensive line is the best defensive line, or one of, in football. Mike McDonald, a defensive head coach, plays to his defense. When they can run the football, although not great, they can beat you in a multitude of ways. Smith and Jigba, been the best receiver in football.
He must run great routes, Booger, because
open.
he gets open.
No
right?
doubt about it. Cooper Kupp, forgotten guy. They got a bunch of weapons. When they get competent quarterback play, they're in line for the #1 seed. If they get really good quarterback play, boom, they can horse the Lombardi. That's how good this team is. The key will be Sam Darnold. Can Sam Darnold not turn the football over? If he doesn't, boom, they can beat anybody in front of them, and it's going to be fun to watch. A lot of pressure on Sam Darnold, but I love the confidence that his team is putting in him right now.
Well, they're wondering how he builds on that Ram game, which we haven't seen them for 10, 11 days. The Seahawks, they got 17 guys with a half sack or more. So it's not like, okay, here's Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
But they all can do it.
Yeah.
They're a handful, but so is the rest of the NFC West, the Rams and the 49ers. Now, Saturday games, because they help set up some things. Chargers and Texans. Chargers have won 4 in a row. Houston, started 0-3. Can they be the 7th team since they started the Super Bowl to start 0-3 and make the playoffs? C.J. Stroud and Texans. Remember they beat the Chargers last year in the playoffs? If you miss this Saturday, Stroud, wait a minute. This is Houston going up top early? Where's the Charger defense? Jaden Higgins, 75 yards, 7-0 Texans.
90 seconds of the game from Stroud to the Iowa State receiver.
It's pronounced Noel, but it's spelled N-O-E-L. Joyeux Noel. Of course, Christmas week. Jalen Noel catches a touchdown from Stroud. The Chargers didn't know that was coming. It's 14-0, 14-3 at the half. Now, seconds left in the third quarter, down 17-3. Justin Herbert, Arundel Gadsden, we remember his dad. Touchdown, 17-10. But down 20-10, Chargers aren't done. Omarion Hampton punches it in. It's 20-16. But Dicker, the kicker, had a rare bad game. He missed the field goal and he missed the extra point, so they need a touchdown. And then Stroud sacked by Oweh. And at 3rd and 9, they're going to get the ball back on a pump it. No. Tarheeb still called for contact downfield.
Yeah, legal contact, boom. You only get 5 yards. A little ticky-tacky, but it's the right call.
And so they never get it. What we don't show you is those sacks in the Texan front, which we'll talk about in a minute. And so the Houston Texans punch a ticket to the playoff. They still are one back of the Jags. Remember, they've won the division the last few years. They'd like to win it, but they are in. And again, they started 0-3. The Ravens trying to stay alive in their kind of curious season, huh? No Lamar, no Jordan Love, Malik Willis, not pictured. Tyler Huntley, Snoop Huntley, pictured. They're your starting quarterbacks. Pictured is Derrick Henry. Let's see, he had 1,900 yards last week in the rotation. It's a touchdown. 7-0 Ravens. It's tied at 7. What do you think you do from the 1? Yeah, I think we're done. Henry, touchdown, 14-7. Minute and a half to go in the second quarter at Lambeau. Malik Willis. And he sees a Malik in the Ravens defense. 22-yard run, 20-14. He is impressed every time we see him.
As a backup quarterback, boom, he is as good as it gets.
14 seconds left in the half. Henry goes, yeah, that'll be enough. Here's a touchdown, 27-14. He stiff-armed the guy. And by the way, with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, you'll never guess, around the left tackle, Ronnie Stanley. Henry, 216 yards on 36 carries. The cheese grater, he was greater than any visiting running back in the history of Lambeau Field. 216 yards, no visitor. By the way, it's been open for a while. No visitor. Walter Payton, you can name all of them, has ever had more yards than the 216. Derrick Henry. Okay, our job is done Saturday night. Now, a wish.
Pray before we leave that, the good Lord just give us a chance. Wake up tomorrow in the morning, pray again before the game comes on. The good Lord give us a chance, and then let it all unfold, man. It's out of our control.
Well, Henry set sort of record at Lambeau. Can Myles Garrett and the Browns derail the Steelers, who have a chance with a win, and Aaron Rodgers to get in and win the division? They haven't won it in, 4 years? 2020. Myles Garrett 1 sack to be the all-time sack leader. But Shadur Sanders says, I got my guy playing defense, and I got Cedric Tillman 43 yards downfield. Brown, 2nd and 8. Shadur to fellow rookie Harold Fannin Jr. Brown They're up 10-0, but they beat Pittsburgh here 3 in a row going in.
No doubt. How about the throw, rookie to rookie, Shadur Sanders, the Phantom Jr., who's been an outstanding rookie tight end this season?
Well, you know, Cameron Hayward, of course. Well, there's the little guy, kind of. You know, compared to brother Connor Hayward takes the snap, 29 yards on 3rd and 1. Steelers get a field goal. They trail 10-6, half. Rodgers, third quarter. That offenses look good. They look really good at Detroit. They've been sharp lately in beating the Ravens. You can dance if you Jonnu Smith, first down, but Garrett almost had the record-breaking sack.
Yeah, he's getting close, Boom. He can almost smell it.
Now look at him. Meanwhile, we're ahead. Kevin Stefanski says, Shadur, look for Judge Judy. But while you look, under pressure. There's too much air under that ball. And Kyle Duggar makes the pick at the 34.
Yeah, you can't do that as a rookie. Dad didn't like that.
Oh, no. 13-6, buck 19 to go. Is this going to be patented Aaron Rodgers? Well, it looks like it. Pat Fryer moved. Lots of Steeler fans. But Browns fans trying to out-drown him in the stands. Or drown him out, I should say. Rodgers to Fryer moves 11 yards. 35 seconds to go. First and goal. Rodgers. Oh, what a feeling. Adams dancing for 3 yards on the Thielen. Second and goal from the 7. Rodgers. Denzel Ward almost had it.
Almost had it, Boom. Receiver stopped running the route. Rodgers thought he was going to come across.
But 3rd and goal, certainly the Steelers. This is storybook. They're going to go into Cleveland. They're going to win the division. For Mike Tomlin, who now has 200 wins on his career, nobody there on 3rd and goal. Mike Tomlin, okay, certainly we're going to do it on 4th down, right? From the 7. Rodgers. Throw. Oh, that fade. I never liked it. Marcus Valdes-Scantling was the intended receiver on all 3. That was good cover.
Boom, my least favorite play in football is the fade. It's very low percentage play. Ref's not going to call that.
Browns! They beat the Steelers again in Cleveland. So this top defense, they decided to play as they have almost every game for defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz. No record for Myles Garrett, but the Steelers, well, they lose, but they still can beat the Ravens next week at home, and they win the division. Myles Garrett says, you know what? They had our attention all week.
Feels great. You know, our rival, you always want to beat them. Doesn't matter the circumstances. And we line up, you know, we want to beat those guys, and so I'm glad to have opportunity to do it and get the job done.
They got a good defense, but, you know, we didn't execute very well on 3rd down, so didn't have a very good game. And didn't run the ball, early like we wanted to. Yeah, pretty bad on 3rd down.
And what gives you that confidence that you guys are being able to right the ship next week?
Because we've done it all season. We've handled adversity well, and we had to play our best ball. Yeah, we did, other than today.
Either an airplane pulled into the bottom of the stadium, or there's a toilet that's running that they got to fix, but they're on the road next week. They got all season to fix it. Just noting what we heard. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, that offense looked really good at Detroit on a fast track inside. I know the weather wasn't great. We got it. They look really good. Baltimore, some throws in this. Against a really sharp defense, I understand receiver out. They didn't have any answers, did they?
Well, Boom, they had no answers. And first of all, you give a shout out to their defense. When you hold a team to 13 points, defense job done. No DK Metcalf, you knew there was going to be a lot put on Aaron Rodgers. 3 for 18 on 3rd and 4th down. And so in a game where they couldn't run the football, where Jaylen Warren wasn't that effective, Aaron Rodgers had to go back and be the 4-time MVP, and he couldn't do it today. And I think if you're the Steelers going into next week, that has to give you just a moment of pause, because there's going to be no DK next week either. He's suspended. Where are you going to get your offensive production from? MVS, in a go-to situation, you were going to a guy who wasn't on the team a few weeks ago. You have to find some production somewhere. And so I think if you're Mike Tomlin and you're Aaron Rodgers in a winner-take-all situation, who's going to be the guys that can step up? Defense did their job. Offense, quarterback, they got to show up to the party next week.
As shaky as the season has been for Baltimore, and we don't know if Lamar's going to play, but Snoop, Hundley knows what he's doing. Here's the big picture. We started 1-5. We still have a chance to win the division. Kind of sounds like Tampa. Derrick Henry. Steelers held them about 4.3 yards a carry the last time, and just under 100. But the Ravens, they just have to trot that out again, don't they, in this game on the road? Derrick Henry's coming. Let's see if you can stop it.
Run the football, be who you are. This time of the year, boom, everybody knows what everybody's doing. It comes down to a war of wills. And if you watch Baltimore play Saturday in Green Bay, no Lamar Jackson, they said, okay, we're going to ride the guy that's going to be a future Hall of Famer in Derrick Henry.
Why not?
216 yards. The week before, he didn't play the last 12 minutes of the game. So which Ravens game plan is Todd Monken going to call? The one from 2 weeks ago or the one last night? I think they got to give Derrick Henry the ball. He's got to get 25 carries. He's got to carry the ball early and often. Whether Lamar plays or not, they got to run the football 40 times. And so it's going to be a game, boom, unlike any other I think we've seen for the 1,000th time. It's Pittsburgh. It's Baltimore. It's everything on the line. I think if you would have asked either one of these coaches before the season, would you take this? They take it in a heartbeat.
Right, even though the paths have been
very rocky.
What you're telling me in this game is for the 8 millionth time, bring a chin strap if you're going to wear a helmet.
Question. Yes, absolutely.
In this game. Houston, 0-3, big trouble. Even though the teams they lost to legit. 11-2 since. Defense that's ranked number 1, and you know they want to finish that way. And they make the playoffs, the 7th team since the Super Bowl era began to start 0-3 and make it. And C.J. Stroud playing better than last year. Maybe not as good as 2 years ago. Do they have enough to go places?
I think they do, boom. It's going to be a little tough. First of all, give a shout out to D'Amico Ryans. You don't understand how hard it is for a team to be 0-3 and not allow the walls to cave in. He did an outstanding job, and now they're right where they should be. I think they're the best team in the South. Defense, outstanding. They can't run the football very well with Marks. C.J. Stroud has the ability. He's shown us throughout his career he can play as good as anybody, boom. The key will be, can he do it consistently in the postseason? Because more is going to be asked of him because there's a lack of running game. But his ceiling, he was well on his way after his rookie year to being a top 5 quarterback. Can he go back and turn the hands of time back to those performances more consistently? Because if he can, boom, with that defense, if you give that defense 21, you give that defense 21, it's going to be tough to beat them.
And real quick on the Chargers, we call it legal deflategate. That's not a knock. That's the way they like to play.
Yes.
Can they come from behind? I know it was 14-0 early, but in the playoffs where a lot of the AFC teams are defensive heavy, not so much offensive.
Correct.
Can they come from behind? That's not the way they want to play it. I know nobody wants to play it that way, but they're not built as well. I'll tell you who's built pretty darn well. The New England Patriots at the Jets. And the only excitement was with the young lady who the Jets finally did the worst PR mistake in a long time and let her try to kick that field goal for 100th now at halftime. That was the best the Jets looked. She didn't make it, but so what? We rooted for her. May to Stephon Diggs, first minute of the game, 12 yards. Drake May, he didn't have an incompletion for like almost a half. Austin Hooper, touchdown, just like that, 7-0 Patriots. Now just like that, it's 14-0 Patriots. Brady Cook, the rookie, throw it. Jalen Hawkins steps in front. Good defense. It was double. They always have a couple guys around the ball.
Always, boom, somebody there.
Following Patriots drive, May. A little pressure. Why don't I look for Stephon Diggs? How you Diggs me now? How about that catch?
That's an MVP type throw and catch there. How about Diggs, though, to go up and over? Little mouse action right there and to get 2 feet down, boom.
Well, same drive. That's just second quarter. Remember Ramondre Stevenson? Oh, yeah, he's hoping the Jets didn't remember. And it's 21-0. Now 21-3. Hey, Nick Folk, bright spot for the Jets. Field goal. 4th and goal from the 3. We're trying to score as many points as possible. Division foe on the road. Trying to get rid of them. Touchdown to Diggs. 28-3. 35-3 at the half. 30 seconds into the second half. Passing leader for the Jets, Austin McNamara. Bad news, the punter. He wasn't really the leader, but I'm saying it. To Malachi Moore, 3 yards. First down for the Jets. Jets punting 4th and 6. No, we're going to fake it again on the same drive, but Isaiah Davis stuffed by the Patriots special teams, which are also really good. Jets turn the ball over on downs. Made it. Efton Chisholm. Not Jazz Chisholm. Efton Chisholm. Drake made 5 touchdown passes, 5 different guys.
How about the throw, though, on a dead run to the right, to throw it to Chisholm? Drake May's been having an outstanding year. To me, it's he, Josh Allen, and Matthew Stafford for the most valuable player in our league.
Well, let's just say something about Drake May. 4,000 yards. 4,000 yards on the season. What a year he and the Patriots are having. The Patriots are 8-0 on the road, even though they may be home all the way through the playoffs. They don't care where they go. They started 1-2, by the way. Since then, 12-1. Drake May, 19 of 21, 256. Excuse me, for 395. Meanwhile, so the Patriots still in line for the 1 seed. Still depends on what Denver does. Still need a win. Well, we haven't shown you the Bills yet. We'll see. Phillip Rivers and the Colts. Trevor Lawrence. The Colts eliminated by results on Saturday, but Rivers is playing anyway. Meanwhile, Trevor Lawrence, tricky Jags, but Samson Ebukam. Remember him as a Ram, Niner, still contributing.
He's been making plays for a long time.
And so the Colts on the Jags trying to be tricky, take over. Phillip Rivers, win, lose, one of the best stories of all year. To Will Mallory, ball in the air, how do you catch it?
It's called concentration, Boom, man. Using that hand to bring it back. Just keep your eye on the ball, Boom.
Concentration, sounds like a game show.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it is one. Jonathan Taylor in there for a touchdown. 18 rushing touchdowns, tying his own Colt record. 10-0 Colts. Lawrence, Benton, Benton, strange. People are strangers to the doors. I'm singing it anyway. Lawrence, escape. This is what he can do. He's been throwing, he's been running, he's been scoring.
Since Liam Cohen has been there, unlock the athleticism of the 6'6" quarterback.
10-7, Jacksonville trails at the half. Trevor, good pocket. Parker Washington is a name we've been saying, Boog.
Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas Jr. Nice little threesome there in Jacksonville.
And the quarterback playing as well as he's ever done. Liam Cohen, the offensive staff, quarterback coach Spencer Whipple, and Lawrence. Well, that's a pretty quick run. He can run pretty quick.
The area athletic, Boom.
Yeah, second rushing touchdown today, 14-10 Jags. Rivers to Josh Downs on 3rd and 10 at the first down. Challenged by the Jags, but they said yes, catch. Now, Phillip. Got his high school team there watching, family. Mo Alley Cox. Colts. Give them a win, huh? They're up 17-14.
No doubt. And Phillip Rivers continues to be outstanding since he's come back. They may not have won, but it hasn't been because of old man Rivers.
He's amazing. Now, fourth quarter, Rivers looking for Downs. This one he wants back. Jerry and along came Jones. Great break on the
First time since the comeback where the arm strength of Rivers has come into question.
And so, 20-17 after the Jags kick a field goal. Late in the fourth, Lawrence and Jacoby Myers. They cite that trade with the Raiders, a trade deadline, as a huge one. Fourth down on 4th and 1, a first down. Jags kick field goal. Phillip Rivers played 3 really strong games. Unfortunately for the Colts, they could not stop the Jacksonville Express. They could not stop what's now a 6-game losing streak. They played a tough game, even though they were eliminated the night before. And the Jaguars, one up on Houston, win against Tennessee. They will win the division. Nobody saw that coming. They're in the playoffs. Of course, Houston can still catch them, but that's next week. On this game for the Jags, they've now won 7 in a row. And by the way, small market, I love it. Liam Cohen's from Rhode Island. We have no smaller market in the State Department than Liam Cohen.
Comments.
So, Liam, I get it. The Ocean State. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they're growing before our eyes. They're playing with such confidence, Booger.
It's amazing, Boom. New coach, new attitude. Liam Cohen comes in. The offense is playing better. Defense top 5 in turnovers. They turn the football over. They get after the quarterback. But the quarterback is without a doubt the most important position in the game. And what Liam Cohen has done with Trevor Lawrence has been outstanding. Unlock the legs also. We see how he's playing from the pocket. And when you're 6'6" and you can run 4.6 in the 40, there's athleticism there. He's unlocking it. Quarterback draws. These are called plays from the play caller for the quarterback to run the football. That's how he's using some of this athleticism. So, Boom, when you add that to the defense, they can run the football with ATN. I like what they're doing. The key will be the quarterback has been a little bit of an up and down through his career. Can he become more consistent as the game becomes more important? That'll be the key.
When he runs, it looks like he gets 5 yards every step. In other words,
He's
two
long.
steps, first down.
He's long.
They've very long, and they've scored the most points in team history with 432 points, like we said. They've won 7 in a row. At the beginning of the year, they're 100-1 shot to win the Super Bowl, and they were over/under for wins on the year 7.5. Jacksonville record 12-4.
Pretty good.
That's pretty darn good. The New England Patriots, speaking of pretty darn good, the most impressive thing about that. It's funny, the team said, we got to win last week, Baltimore, late down, 10, down 11, I think. A come-from-behind win on the road in a clutch game.
Yeah.
All right? They hadn't had that yet. That's another thing to stuff in their pocket. As far as getting rid of a team early, they wrote the book on it today.
They lose a game against Buffalo. You go on the road, everybody said, I don't know about that game against Baltimore. You win that one. So you come back, maybe you think there's going to be somewhat of a letdown this week against a Jets team. What you do when you have a roach in the house, boom, you step on it, you stomp it, and you kill it, and you move on. They did that early on. There were a lot of people wondering, would Mike Vrabel go for it on 4th down? He did. Would he try to score 30, 40? He did. He wanted to allow his team to, as we always say, leave no doubt. Leave no doubt in the minds of the team, the fans, the coaches, who the better team was today. Drake May, he may not win it, boom, but he'll be in the top 3 in the MVP voting. He's been that good. Mike Vrabel's the coach of the year. Relative to expectations, this team has exceeded all of those expectations. Defensively, they're tough against the run. They may not be a perfect team, but if the ball bounces right, and you got to come to Foxborough in January with the wind blowing and win a game in that stadium, good luck.
They were 75-1 shots at the beginning of the year to win the Super Bowl. 8.5 over/under. Patriots record 13-3. They're hoping, we're showing you in a minute, to win the division, and they're hoping still to get the number 1 seed. Could they win the division? Patriots won. The Bills would have to lose. Bills on the second to last game ever at the Ralph. Game number 428, if you're counting. Josh Allen, Bills, wearing all red. Well, what do you expect? It's the last few days of December. The weather, frightful. Jalen Phillips, Eagles defense, very frightful. No whistle blown. A foot race. The big guy, the little guy. Who do you think won? Jihad Campbell won it, beating the lineman, and the Eagles take over.
I'll always take the fastest guy to the ball, boom.
And 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter. No, we're not pushing it, tushing it. We're hitting it. They're swishing it to Dallas Goedert. He's caught 11 touchdowns this year that people forget.
Yeah, a little play action there.
Kicked 2 field goals, too. It's 13-0 at the half. Philly's defense looking awesome. Bills struggling. Allen, sack. Lamoro Ojomo grabs the ankle that he hurt last week.
Yeah, Ojomo is coming on for the Eagles. That defensive line is getting better and better. Allen a little banged up, though, boom.
Not good.
Not good for a guy that carries so much of the weight.
Well, but he doesn't care. They're going to come out. No. 3rd and 15, Bills. Throws off the back foot. Nope. Bills forced to punt. Josh limping off. Crowd holding their breath. They're down 13-0. Second to last game at the Ralph. Seemingly, unless they win the division, or we'll get into that later. 3rd and 5. But Allen in the fourth quarter to Khalil Shakir. You know, they don't have a lot of options out there. Brandon Cooks played a role. And now Allen on the quarterback sneak, and the Bills are down 13-6, but extra point. Boy, is Carter and the Eagles good at this.
The special teams have been outstanding all year. Think about the kick they blocked against the Rams early in the season.
Yep.
And then that one the other day proved very, very pivotal.
Defensive play by Carter, so the kick is blocked. But Badgley's kicking, so 13-6. Would that play a role? Yeah, you bet you. Under 2 minutes to go, 2nd and 10. Josh putting on the cape. Terrell Shavers. That's a close Shavers, but he's inside the 20 with the helmet catch. David Tyree.
I love the basketball there. They'll box the defender out and go up and use your body and your helmet and catch the ball.
4th to goal inside the 1. Crowd at a fever pitch. What are you going to do? We're going to do it. The fullback is in to help push. And they're down 13-12. So Sean McDermott says, we're going for 2. Josh, at the end of the game, to Shakir. They don't get it. The Eagles are going to hold on.
That's just a very well-designed play. Bad throw by Josh. One of the few bad throws he had all day. That should have been a two-point conversion, even though I disagree with the call of going for it.
So, the Bills, they lose it. That means the New England Patriots have won the AFC East for the first time. Well, it's been a while since 2020. The Bills have won it all these years in a row. And the Eagles beat the Bills 13-12 to his chagrin, and despite a big comeback for Josh Allen.
Well, they got a good front. They got a good defense. That's the defending Super Bowl champs for a reason. They had a good plan. They get paid on that side of the football too. So, again, it just comes down to us executing, making one more play than they did, and obviously we saw that we didn't make that last play. I didn't make that last play. So.
It's crunch time moments, just like, bend but don't break. Obviously they had a little bit of a surge towards the end, but we were able to do what we needed to do, really both offensively and defensively, special teams wise, to come out with the win. So I think gritty games like that are things that you need to have to prepare yourself for the long haul.
Well, weather didn't help them much. The Eagles did a pretty good job on Cook, the running back. The Bills have seemingly relied on second-half comebacks. They had one, and if the two-point conversion makes it, it's another second-half comeback. That's a tough way to live. Eagles we'll talk about them, obviously formidable. You heard Josh say it. Weather not great for a 24-point game against a defense like Philadelphia. And they paid for falling behind by 2 scores.
They did. The weather was a factor. It rained the entire game. Josh Allen was absolutely outstanding in the second half. And they always say the most important point, the extra point. And that extra point cost them.
Yep.
Because if they get the first extra point, they kick the second one and win the football game. But I digress. Here's the thing I'll say. I think if you're Sean McDermott, you have to ask yourself this question: why go for 2 now? The rule of thumb that I was always taught, when you're the better team, you want to continue to play because over time, the better team wins. When you're the underdog, you try to go for the win in one play. I think Buffalo feels like they're just as good as Philadelphia. Why go for 2 in that situation? Now, with that being said, he was wide open. Josh Allen just missed him. So it was a well-designed play by Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator. Josh Allen is falling back on his back foot and just missed a wide-open receiver. He's going to rue that throw all night long.
Well, they'll have to go the wild card route. They know that now. They could be 5, they could be 6. We'll get into it. Of course, the Bills, the last game ever at the Ralph now, unless a number 5 seed hosts a championship game, all right, will be next week against the Jets. Their first game ever, regular season game in 1973. OJ's 2,000-yard season was against the Jets. They won that. They won that. They're trying to book it. Philly. You know what I noticed most about Philly? We could XO it.
Yeah.
We know their defense. They're deeper than hell.
Correct.
Maybe it's Christmas, but for 2 or 3 weeks, haven't heard a lot from Philly. I think that's great. They're the defending champs. They're deeper than heck. Nobody wants to play them in the playoffs. Burr, it's as if they said, okay, for 6-7 weeks, can we just, do this? And if they do this, they may find themselves back in the Super Bowl. That's how I feel about Philly.
There's the deviation from what their best can be and what their lowest can be is probably a greater variance than anybody in the league. Boom. Their ceiling, they can win another Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley's still legit. They still got 2 premier receivers on the outside. The quarterback is still a dual threat. The defense, I think Ojomo, Carter, Davis, the addition of Phillips, they can still win a Super Bowl. But to your point, throughout the season, I heard too much chomping. Hadn't heard nothing wild. All I've heard is good play, and they're winning. They're going to be a tough outcome January.
Very tough. That'll serve them really well, even if it's painful for them not to say what they think. Speaking of painful, a couple of these teams have had some painful years, but guess what? It's fun now for the Bengals. Even though they're way out of it, the Bengals at home against the Cardinals, who were 2-0, but that's like ancient history. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, a touchdown. This is the way we're supposed to look all year. 7-0 Cincy. Burrow, Chase up 16-7. Make it 23-7. Boy, the Arizona Cardinals. They were 2-0. They've lost 13 of 14.
That was a long time ago.
They can pull it out. Burrow. How about Cody Ford? We really are throwing everybody. But look at the big fella tiptoe down the sideline.
First of all, Boone, how about the route by a 6'5", 300 and whatever pound he is? He put his right foot in the ground, and then to turn it up and get extra yardage. How about the yak there?
The Burrow was more impressed than Ford. And now look at this Chase Brown, by the way, 2 touchdown third quarter, 5 in the last 2 third quarters. Look at Ford on this. Hey, Zach, you didn't know I had it in me.
Yeah, throw me another one.
Yeah. 37-14, Bengals having fun. As we said, Arizona lost 13-14. You know who's having fun? Your home state. Tyler Shuck and the New Orleans Saints. Oh,
Shucking and jiving, huh?
Goodness gracious. And 2 rookie quarterbacks. Cam Ward, Tennessee, they're playing better for interim coach Mike McCoy. Getting jiggy with it. Chigo Conquo. No, they can't bring him down. Titans remembering to score. It's 13-0. 4 minutes left in the half. They're up 13-3. Ward, this is Chase Young. This is what we call a hat trick. I got it. I took it. I run it. I score. 33 yards.
That's what you do, Boom. That's a super athletic play by a guy who was the number 2 overall draft pick from Ohio State.
Saints trail 20-10 despite the Young's heroics at the half. Tyler Shuck, 7 minutes to go in the game. To Kevin Austin. Saints coming from behind. They lead at 27-26. Under 4 to go. This is Audric Estime. If you roughly calculated, that would be an estimate. I'm counting it as 32-yard touchdown. Saints come roaring back. They've won 4 in a row. Tyler Shuck and the Saints win 34-26. And then at the other end of the spectrum, they had a Super Bowl in this building in Las Vegas 2 years ago. This time, 2 teams that have lost 9 in a row, vying for the first draft pick. The Raiders hosting the Giants in the Stupor Bowl. You had to call it that. Here we go. It was a stupor, all right. Who's going to be on the clock? Mel Kiper, we had him on in the morning. Mel, it's still not even the new year already. Gino. But Bobby Okereke. No, it's Carl Banks, isn't it?
No,
Carl Banks. To the Vegas 44 Giants defense, they score on a 1-yard run, 7-0. G-Man. Jackson Dart. He will dart up the middle. 14-3. G-Man. Oh, my goodness gracious. A.J. Cole punts it. The silo, look at this. Now, the reason we're showing this, punches being thrown. You want to see team speed? This is side judge Dominique Pender. Now, this is not good. Look, watch this, book. I got it. That. Give him a raise. We give him a standing ovation. Great, unbelievable hustle by Pender. You know what? It's a Super Bowl. No penalties. 17-3 Giants at the half. Gino, Tyler Lockett. Seahawks. No, the Raiders. 20-10. Could the Raiders? No. Dane Belton. Giants might have a few Beltons on the plane ride home. They'd lost 9 in a row. G-Men shake, rattle, and roll in the Stupor Bowl as they win big at the Raiders, 34-10. So they have a 1-game winning streak, and the Raiders have lost 10 in a row. They opened the year beating the Patriots. Hard to believe the calendar year of primetime.